How's it going, CGC family? Back at you once again with another video. This time the long-awaited review of the PSVR2 peripheral for the PlayStation 5. Just in case nobody knew that. I want to start off this review by saying that in this video you're only going to see 3 games. Now I believe I have about 5 or 6 games that are compatible with it, but some of them I either haven't played yet, so I don't want to speak on them, or really in the case of DeMeo, which I'll get to shortly, it's probably my favorite experience on there, though it's not the most interactive, or nor does it take advantage, I guess you could say, of the PSVR2's capabilities. It is probably the most entertaining one to me, just because of what it does and what it reminds me of. Anyway, video you're seeing right now, or the footage you're seeing right now rather, is footage from Horizon called The Mountain. This is a game I got with my unit. It is the latest one I've played. For some strange reason I just hadn't gotten to it yet. Very, very beautiful game. Let me first say that. I don't think it's very long. I've only played like maybe an hour, and it says that I'm 23% through the story, so I'm guessing it's not a very long experience. And I should say it's more of an experience than it is a game. A lot of what you do is, don't get me wrong, there's interaction there obviously, but like even right now you see I'm just looking at this tall neck. To my knowledge so far in the game, I don't interact with that thing. I probably will have to climb one. The main character in this game, spoiler alert, is like a professional mountain climber in the Horizon universe. This is like a skill that he's good at. So you climb a lot of mountains, and of course you fight robot dinosaurs and animals like you do in the other Horizon games. Very beautiful game. Some unexpected interactions. You're going to see one here in a minute. There's 2 NPCs that I'm with will try to protect our boat from some, I think they're called Watchers. I should know because I platinum the first game, but yeah, I believe they're called Watchers. And after she kills one, its carcass kind of lays to the left of where the boat's going, and I just reached my hand out thinking, okay, maybe I can grab this arrow, and sure enough I could. It was a nice little immersive moment. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed what I played. The combat's simple enough. My aim is absolutely terrible, so I missed a lot of shots. I probably had some fights that lasted longer than they needed to. But, man, I gotta say again, this is one beautiful game. It really showcases the power of, I'm guessing, the combined mind of the PSVR2 and the PS5. The OLED lenses on the device certainly didn't hurt. I will say though, oftentimes vision can get blurry, but I think that has something to do with the eye tracking. It could be the lenses too and how they're designed, but I think it's the eye tracking and how that kind of, I don't know. Because it's just like it comes and goes. I don't have consistent blur, but it happens. And there's the arrow moment right there. I didn't think I'd be able to do that, and I just reached my hands out, and I was able to do it. One thing, if I can compare this to another device which I have, which is the Meta Quest 2 and the original PSVR, the placement of the index finger buttons is kind of weird. I mean, I understand what they were doing, I guess, but it's just, I think the Meta Quest 2's controller has a better placement for those buttons. It just feels more natural to flick those buttons that way. But other than that, as far as like gameplay and graphics and the experience I had with that game, no major complaints. Again, the only complaint I have with the device is the button placement. The next game you're going to see, I have a couple of complaints about, but I think they're more so based on my own personal limitations. So take these complaints with a grain of salt. And that's Pavlov. Pavlov is a really fun game. I recently got the confidence to start playing multiplayer against other people, and there are some different type of dudes in the multiplayer on this game. There's a dude running around throwing knives. Basically, a lot of these cats are already on Call of Duty levels. I think the game's crossplay, so we're probably playing with people on PC and MetaQuest that already have been on the game. I think it's been around for like maybe 2 or 3 years now. Very fun game. Very disorienting. That's one complaint I have about this game, because you basically have to stand up. Like, you can sit down, but you're gonna be like a little kid-sized character, and in the game, I think you're just ducking the entire time. And because you're ducking, you're not gonna move that fast, and it is really hindering. Although I did find out that once you hold the gun down to like your side or below your waist, you actually run faster. So that may have been what was making me move slow when I was sitting. But I recommend that, one, if you're not in shape, you might not want to touch this one because you're gonna have to stand. And I'm an older dude, so my back was burning the first couple of sessions. I'm getting used to it now, and actually, hell, I could use a little exercise. So it was good that I had something that made me stand up. And it was fun. The multiplayer is fun. I haven't played Search and Destroy yet. I don't think I'm good enough for that yet. Eventually I will play it and probably post a video for it. But Team Deathmatch is very fun. Just know, if you're new, if you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to get your ass kicked. This game really stresses all of the nuances of a gun. You have to reload it. You have to cock it. And in the heat of battle, if you're not in cover, your first couple of times, you are going to fumble and you are going to get killed because you don't know what the hell you're doing. If you buy this game, I recommend you go into the shooting range, try all the guns, even the World War II shooting range, so that you know how they reload. Because, again, if you don't know how they reload, it's just a bad situation going worse. A lot of things I still have to learn about it. Fun game, a little jarring. Kind of lost my balance. It's just a weird feeling, like vertigo almost, if that applies. Next game's my favorite game that I have for this device. Good old DeMayo. Now, I used to play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. I've played some Warhammer. And this game right here, though it's not licensed by either one of the companies that create those two properties, it really, for me, sets the tone for what could be possible. If I'm Sony or whoever, I'm getting a Warhammer license. Nothing about this game was overly good or overly bad. The graphics aren't the most phenomenal thing. I mean, they're serviceable. They do what they need to do. You're essentially playing a board game, and all your pieces are alive. It's fun as hell. It's kind of got this system where, traditional rolling of dice, and you actually have cards that you collect randomly. Based on which character you get a random deck. And there's 3 levels to every dungeon. Third level being the level where the bosses are. And as you kill enemies, as you take turns, and as you go through different levels, every level you go to, you get to go to a shop and spend your gold. You pick up gold in the dungeon. It's laid around in various places. And every so many turns, you get a new card, and you got to be careful how you use them. For the most part, the community for this one is pretty friendly. I did get kicked out of the room. I did something stupid, not realizing that I did something stupid. Punched a spider egg. This is advice for anybody who plays this. Don't punch the spider eggs. It hatches more spiders. But other than that, most of the people I've played with have been very friendly, very helpful if you ask them for help. Just don't go in here without a microphone. They tend to hate that, because once again, you're playing with people who've probably been on this game for about 2 years now. And some of them have patience and are willing to teach. A lot of them, as you would expect, do not have patience and will kick you out of their room immediately if you do something stupid or you do not talk. And if you do something stupid and don't talk, yeah, they're going to get you out of there. Fun game though, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I would buy Monopoly, Uno, or damn near any board game and play it like this. I don't know why. If it, like, you would think, okay, you're better off just touching grass and actually playing with real people in the house. But you know, whatever, dude. I do that too. But this is cool. I hope more board games come to this particular device, and hell, I mean, get those licenses going. And if I'm going to grade this peripheral and my experiences on it so far, I would say it's a strong B plus to A minus. I think the only major gripe I have about this device, outside of the placement of the index finger buttons, which is, you get used to it if you use it enough, is that Sony, in all of their brilliance, and I use that in quotation marks, decided not to make this device compatible with PC. By the time this video goes up, news will have circulated that apparently the PlayStation VR2, and I'm not sure if this is factual, it might just be a rumor, but I believe the sources are pretty concrete. Apparently it's not selling very well. And me and a buddy who both bought this, we had this talk, and I'm like, man, I'm not surprised. It takes $1,100 at least, and that's not including tax, to play this damn thing, guys. I'm fortunate enough that I have a job, a career, where I can put aside disposable funds to buy stuff like this, right? But the average person isn't. And Sony would have been smart to say, you know what, this PSVR2, it works with PC as well, or we're going to release software that makes it compatible with PC. That would have been a brilliant move, because to my knowledge, and I'm not a PC VR or even a VR expert, but to my knowledge, for the price of around $580 something dollars, maybe $600, the PSVR2 is a steal compared to most PC VR headsets. And I think Sony's losing money unnecessarily, and quite frankly, I think they're leaving money on the table. They need to get an update or a peripheral or something out soon that lets this thing work with PC, because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people who own PCs that can run VR games that would be more than willing to shell out less than what they would have to pay for a PC VR headset to be able to have those experiences. They've got to get off of this horse of, we want people to only play on PlayStation. Like, you see them kind of twiddling their thumbs and actually tripping over their own feet with that latest Last of Us port to the PC. They've got to get their heads out of their asses. And harsh words, but it is what it is. You guys have heard me curse before. They got to get their heads out of their asses when it comes to this PC stuff, man. This is where gaming is going. You're not Nintendo. You can't afford to not put your games on every platform. Hell, Nintendo is, I don't know, they just have this grandfathered legacy where they will always be able to sell their software and anything with their characters in it to people because they're beloved like that. Sony, you don't have that. You make great games. You sell, a lot of units, but I mean, you're asking the average person for $1,100 to play this stuff, and it's just not feasible. It's weird as hell, actually. Like I said, it's a B plus, A minus device. One of the best experiences I've ever had in gaming, but for the price, I can't really recommend it, especially when it's locked to this console. And it worries me because, okay, Sony made this game for it, but how many experiences are they going to be willing to invest in making for it when, one, the thing's not selling, and two, they got to worry about this acquisition that's happening, because it looks like it's going down. I would be cautious about this. Maybe it'll be on sale soon. You don't have to be You don't have to have the level of FOMO that I had to have about it. To be honest with you, I would do a wait and see how much they actually support it, and see if they're smart enough to make it compatible with PC, because that'll go a long way in helping it move units. And sheesh, man, maybe they'll get some more software out of it too. Maybe they'll just be a cross, you know, a cross pollination of, well, it works with PC. We might as well make the game work with PSVR, with the PlayStation 5 as well. But yeah, man, that's my only thing. I would call this a cautiously optimistic, really cautiously pessimistic, because it's apparently not doing well, and I'm just worried about how long Sony actually intends to support this thing if it stays on this path. Anyway, that's my review, and like, comment, subscribe for more.